Okay, welcome back to my playthrough and lore discussion of Dishonored. This is the second half of Mission 4. Before we get started, once again I just want to give a quick plug to my book, The Heron King's Rampant. It's out now. Hardcover, paperback, ebook. Ebook's only 99 cents, but it won't stay that way, so get it while you can. It's a gaslamp fantasy action-adventure and takes a lot of inspiration from Dishonored, so if you're watching this video, you might like the book. I also have a dramatic reading of the first chapter posted on this channel. It's not read by me, thankfully, so it's actually pretty good. So yeah, check that out. Now, before we get started on the actual rest of the mission, there's one thing I wanted to show. Something a commenter left that you can do kind of near the beginning of the mission. So if you go back to this area, and so you've got your oil tank, and you power it up, door opens, and you can start the little carriage on its way. But if you pull out the oil tank when it's underneath, the door will shut part way, and you can sneak underneath, and because the power is off to the track, you can walk across. I don't know why you necessarily would want to, but it's something you can do. So you can just walk across that way. Actually, I wonder if you can go back and get the tank. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. Let's see why not. Okay, yeah, so you can take the tank with you, and if you want, you can see if you can chuck it at these guys. Will it reach? Yes, it will. Okay, so that's just one more fun little thing you can do. And if you see something like that I missed, you think it's interesting, let me know and I'll check it out. And if I think it's interesting, I'll show it. But anyway, on to the rest of the mission here. And before I go through this door to Midrow substation, I just want to use the heart on the location. I think it's the same for all the locations in the mission. But
in the pylons, blood beneath the stone locks, and I building a structure.
Now that's the case with any bridge.
Many seek the bridge for solace. Ruined men, abandoned women, and plague victims have all left from here.
Yeah, as they said, a lot of suicides.
Minerals, the farm animals, the vials of liquid mysteries. All these and more are necessary for his experiments.
Sokolov's experiments, obviously.
The air is heavy and stale. Some acrid powders still linger in it. Sokolov sees the captain at the helm and the tusked Leviathan. What do you see in the stars?
I assume those are constellations.
The doom of Pandisia has come to the city.
Always a classic. Yeah, they're really heavily into astrology in this game. And really, you can't blame them. I mean, they know magic exists. And there's no reason to think the astrology wouldn't exist also. Get that rune. And I think there's just a few little power-ups. Power-ups. That's how old I am. Loot. Overseer's music note. Yesterday an overseer passed in the street near me, playing the strange music from the abbey. Beneath his mask I could not see his face as he turned the crank on his music box, but I could hear his voice muttering verses from the sacred texts. Fear overcame me because it is forbidden to carry bone charms and similar such items for luck. The overseers are completely unforgiving in this matter. Gripping mine in my pocket, feeling its warmth, I walked with my head down. He was heading toward the royal physician's home, that shaggy Sokolov. Something odd occurred. I could swear the charm in my hand reacted to the overseer's music, growing cold. Some inner vibration seemed to go still. I found a book that is perhaps related to this and will study it so that I might understand. And here's the book, The Ancient Music. Throughout the natural world there are ripples that we can barely perceive with our senses, and ancient music permeating everything is a fundamental structural rule. Through it, you can work wonders without violating the natural world or begging favors from unfriendly spirits. Throughout my studies, I have found a 17-note scale derived from this phenomenon, and with the right equipment, these notes allow for astonishing effects. Not the least of these is the ability to calm the turbulence originating in the void, which we attribute to the outside. Alright, so learning about the music they use to disrupt our magic. And here's mid-row substation. And some funny dialogue here. So these wheels are, they're meant to be sort of working the drawbridge up and down, so a mechanism that raises and lowers that bridge.
I just love watching them turn and turn. What, them wheels? Yes, around and around, like the cycle of life. Such a wondrous symbol of the progress we've made in industry and invention. If you say so, sir. And remember, guardsmen, you must make sure they keep turning. It would look very bad on your record. Very bad indeed, should the factory shut down on your watch. Yes, sir.
It's a bit of a kook. I love little extra dialogues like that. So if you come over here, there's this area down here. I'm not going to go down there because there's no lore and not much loot, and it's filled with these river crusts. They're at these strategic locations where there's like one spot you can stand where they won't get you. So I'm not going to go down there. You can if you want. I'm going to come behind here.
Think you'll get your own squad after what happened last night? Indeed, I believe so.
Classic line. So what we're going to do is try and turn off these wheels so that we can get through the spokes and turn off that light. So there are a couple of ways you can get over there. So once the wheels stop, you can just climb right through. Of course, if you have Blink 2 and Agility, you can kind of jump over all of them anyway without stopping it. But another way you can come is through this little ditch here into this house. Don't think there's much here, but bitter leaf, crematorium, and fluid works. Allow us to remove your departed loved one.
Things are bad.
200 coins, full incineration with only ash remain. Removal from your home with gentle handling. I actually have a little print of that poster. It's a little card. I ordered it from somewhere.
Elixir. It's a bunch of crap.
But you can sneak through spokes of the wheels. And you can, depending on your playstyle, you can either turn off the wall of light, or you can rewire it. And actually, if you have, as I said, I keep talking about, Blink 2 and Agility. There's a reason for that. If you actually have it, you don't need to do this at all. If you get over here, so if you come around the side of the building, you can actually blink down, somewhere down here, onto these poles and blink back up on the other side without actually deactivating the wall of light, if you want to. So before we go to the area of Sokolov's house, there's this little side action here, rescuing this woman from rats in this building. Conserve your ammo. Best just crouch down and get him with your sword. It takes a little while, but I'm not in much of a hurry today.
Find a way to keep these rats off me so that I
They have
can get
magenta blood. That's weird. Okay.
Thank you for helping me. I thought it was safe. There were rats. So many rats, completely infested. I know some folks aren't superstitious, but I swear, the rats showed up after a man came through, waving around an amulet of some kind. It looked like it was made of bone. But he's dead now, like the others who were living here.
Okay, so not this time, but a lot of the times this woman is glitched, so when you remove the rats, she still won't move. I've heard, I haven't tried it myself, but I've heard that if that happens, you can just, if you have Possession 2, actually, let me... Yeah, so if you have Possession 2, you can possess her and move her to where she's going now, and then unpossess her, and it should be unglitched, and it should proceed. Here's the aforementioned amulet, Bone Charm, Water of Life. Tyrion's Journal. Is that Tyrion? Okay, 26th day, month of wind. I finally found a new place where I should be able to hide and survive for a long time if I stay quiet. The City Watch condemned the building, so this basement should be a safe spot. I have to believe that. Yeah, don't believe that. 28th day, month of wind. Everything is going as expected. The Watch patrols in the street nearby, but they never enter the building. Food is the only problem, but I managed to steal some during the night. Second day, month of darkness. Someone else found this place and wants to share it. He has a strange amulet made of bone, and he claims that it protects him from the plague. We'll see. Perhaps we can help each other, but I'm losing confidence in the odds of survival. Fourth day, month of darkness. Since he arrived, I've been having bad dreams and I don't feel really well. There are more and more rats in the building. Soon I won't be able to leave this shack even if I want to. I'm starting to think that his amulet is cursed. Yeah, it's a good bet. Of course, I'm not sure I should have taken it if that's the case. And then there's some lore and some loot up here. Ore and lore. Okay, so Court of the Spheres. We already read this, so you can pause it and read it again if you want. But I'm not going to read it again here. Volume 2. Orcado was elated, like a boy of 16 on the eve of the Fugue Feast. When we are back in Bristol, I'll be named Royal Physician, or you will be burned for heresy, Third Prefect. All depends on what we find when we get there. My master's voice was different, as if the air of the other outer spheres added qualities normally absent: uncertainty, weakness, fear. I risked another glance at the monolithic structure in the distance. It was a wonder for Orcado, a puzzle for Overseer Bryn, and for me a towering monument to emptiness, a magnificent shrine to madness. In Volume 3, I do not fear the void, nor am I concerned with the spiritual sanctity of the weak, for I am now his herald, his chosen, having seen his sublime vault where eternally he feeds upon the substance of the void. Alone in Orcado's ship, the floor painted red with life, I draw designs with my fingers and gaze through the portals at the land rising below. There I will build the first monument to his glory, a rotting wound in the flesh of nature. Patiently I'll build, awaiting your arrival, O great scion of the void. So if you read all 3 volumes of this, it sounds like they're traveling to some other planet and then going crazy, like something out of Event Horizon. Conversion from overseer to outsider worshipper. I wish we could read the whole thing. It sounds kind of interesting. Could be a good setup for a prequel game of Dishonored 3, Arcane. How's that Redfall doing? Alright, let's go to Sokolov's house. Or rather, the section that contains it. Okay, so this is the area we'll find Sokolov's house, and I'm going to come right up here. There's some dialogue that you miss if you don't get there right away, so I'm going to come over here. So go up on this. These bricks.
No, sir.
And we
not
can
thinking.
listen.
I was just wondering if Sokolov is testing elixirs on people to cure the
You
plague.
haven't been thinking again, have
Why
you?
is it he always asks for healthy citizens? I mean, If you follow my meaning, sir.
You have no mind for natural philosophy. Obviously, it's because the ones already sick with plague don't live long enough to provide Sokolov with any useful information.
It's just a shame is all. Like that woman the other day. She was easy to look at. Seemed nice enough. Shame she has to die. I mean, it's so horrible, like, too.
Now you listen to me. It's none of our concern the how or why of things. And if you want your elixir rations, then I suggest you stop your wondering. These are pigs. Pigs for Sokolov's experiments. And pigs mean nothing to me. Understand?
Right. I mean, why worry about a couple of disgusting, smelly pigs, you know? All pigs get slaughtered sooner or later.
All the others.
Better if I wonder about those sounds we heard from the warehouse, right? I mean, what was that all about?
That's better. You'll go far, Grayson.
Dunwall's finest. Alright, so yeah, the people penned up over there are the people that have been selected for Sokolov's experiments on healthy people. He infects them with plague just to see what happens to help him experiment. Alright, secret stash tip. Higgins, I recently got a tip about a stash hidden at the north end of Caldwin's Bridge. Another crazy bastard keeping all the shiny stuff in a secret room. I was told you need to turn on the faucet in an old sink 3 times to open up some kind of secret door. No information on the value of what's in this room. I only heard about a street speaker hanging over the road, just outside the door. Sorry about that, mate. Don't forget my share if you find it. And the speaker is that speaker there. And that's the buildings. Here we can actually go into the second floor first. Here, a bone charm nearby. And on the 3rd floor, here's our bone charm. So that is all 3 bone charms in this mission. And this door is blocked, but we can come over to support it up, opening, come out this way, and go down to the ground level. And the faucet that I was talking about is right here. I love this. You can't smell this room, but just from what you can see in here, you kind of can smell it. So here's the sink 3 times. And when the not-so-secret door opens up, there's actually rats behind there, so you want to be kind of quick and blink up to here, sneak over and get. That's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot there, but it's one of those special actions. If you do it, you get a little thing at the end of the mission that says you did it. That's pretty much it. That clock tower again. So, you know, watch out for that guard up on that balcony there. Sometimes he'll spot you. Okay, and here are the test subjects, or the prisoners who are going to become test subjects. Let's see if we can. Oh, and I have no sleep darts. That's right. Well,
How did it pass me by? All the others.
take these guys out the old-fashioned way. Okay, and just take the oil tank out,
I don't know who you are or why you did this for me, but listen.
and you get your reward.
Nearby, there's a partially collapsed building. Up on what used to be the 3rd floor, you'll see a painting. I used to work there. Behind the painting, there's a safe, and the code is 294.
Okay, let's go up. And it's right above. And this is one combination that never changes. It's always 294. I used to think you have to get out of the way of this safe door, but no, it just goes right through you. You don't have to get out of the way. Couple of coin. Alright, and there's a little bit of loot in these buildings. Yoink. All these paintings of the Lord Regent. I wonder if are they actual paintings that have been copied multiple times, or did they somehow print it? And the safe you don't need a combination to open. Fell on this guy, poor guy. Inchmouth jewel box. Ah, my stuck. And there's Sokolov's house in front of us. A couple of ways to go in. You can go in
I'm not
from the
asking
top
to know what's going on
or
up
from the
there.
front door.
I was just asking if you heard the screams too.
Of course I've heard them. I would be more worried if there were no screams.
What's that? A riddle? A word game? Okay, so why would no screams worry you more?
Because it is our job to look after Sokolov and make absolutely sure he continues his work. The screams are evidence his work continues. Thus, the screams are evidence that I have done my job.
The screams are evidence we have done our job.
You know, Guardsman, I don't care for you very much.
Yeah, it's kind of a running theme. The Overseers and the Watch do not like each other.
Someone's supposed to be on duty.
So this is a particularly ruined building. I don't think there's much of interest here. Some small bits of loot, but I feel like they were going to put something more here, but just didn't, because it's all just, you know, broken floors. And that crank wheel opens up that gate. It just goes out to the front where you first entered the section. And this comes out on the main street we were just on. Oh, actually, one more thing we can do. So, Samuel's waiting at the place where you're supposed to abduct Sokolov and bring him to. But if you go talk to him, there's a whaling ship. Go talk to him before that. He'll have a few dialogue lines we can listen to.
I hope the night treats you well, Corvo. I'll be here when you have what you came for. I had a dream last night. Don't know what provoked it, but I was sitting in my boat out on the river just at dawn. And the Lord Regent was in the boat with me, just staring at me. Neither of us spoke. I hadn't the foggiest idea about what to say. He just stared. Woke up, chilled to the bone. My brother took to a country girl once who practiced that stuff the overseers are always going on about. She sold charms and the like. My brother talked about her all the time. Then one day she was just gone. Her house was empty. Never seen or heard from again. I had a dream last night. My brother took to a country girl once. I had a dream last night. No. My brother took to a country girl once.
I thought there was another line. Something about hoping the overseers start services again. But... oh well. So the other way you can go in, I guess the funnest way is this water wheel. Just ride it. It takes you up, and over, and you can just step right off and go inside. You come into the cellar, and it's Sokolov's house. I guess it's like the wine cellar. I don't know about this, like storing wine. Basically, I mean, essentially, it's just outdoors, right? It's exposed to the outside. So I don't know. Anyone who knows about wine, is this a good way to age wine in outside? I don't know.
I don't know about you, but him and all his strange things.
And we're in his
Well,
house.
without Sokolov and his
This is one of my
strange
favorite
things,
locations.
he'd probably be dead by now.
Can't one of our own
I have
doctors
to
make
keep
a
this
cure?
position.
It's very hard to stay unseen though, so I probably won't spend too much time here.
Food I bring.
Don't hesitate to go upstairs.
Of course, you could also come in the front door, and so here's his elevator, but you have to take it from up there. I think you have to power it too. Don't remember exactly. I don't usually use it. It's not that useful. So the main thing on the ground floor here is getting that painting.
Think you'll get your own squad after what happened last night?
Never doubt.
What will I do now?
So these pillars are useful cover sometimes. And the obtuse arguments of Lady Boyle. Don't linger too long. They've already discovered the body.
Probably rats.
Eh. There we go. So if you can get up here, it's much easier to stay hidden. You can look down on everyone. These maids are real tough. They'll raise the alarm very quickly if they see you.
Okay, where are
Yeah,
you?
see, they didn't even see me, and they already know I'm here. So
I guess everything's all right now. I will find you. Don't make me call the city watch.
We got a prowler on the loose.
but the main
Let's just see what happens if I get another
location
crack at this guy.
go to is this little tunnel, so it's guarded by two walls of light on both sides. Little area you can sneak up from the bottom there, and then once you get past those, you go through this locked hallway. Not locked. It looks like it could be locked at some point. They probably just didn't lock it. And then this corridor, which is guarded, so you gotta, if you blink underneath the stairs here, you can bypass the guards. Flooded district. Before the plague turned everything to shit, Rudshore was filled with barristers and moneymen, rushing around taxing each other and whatnot. Every guard in the watch wanted that post, and there were classy women everywhere. The whole place flooded years ago, just as the plague got real bad. People were sick and nobody was working, so the city let the dams go to rot. When the big one broke, I've heard tell, The river put it all underwater. The swanky Chamber of Commerce was there, and so was the bloody Greaves whale house. Now there's nothing but rats and gangs and who knows what. Last I heard, the captains had been using it as a quarantine for weepers. You show one sign of the plague and it's your citizenship has been revoked. Over the wall you go, into the water. So, flooded district, which we will visit at the end of the game. Here's Sokolov's bedroom. Spin the globe. I think you need the key. Yeah, you need this key for that. Mysteries of Bed Indicia, we already read. And you gotta kind of be careful here because the guards can see you through that window, even though it's kind of distorted. Bolts. There's those. There's another diagram of the plant life. Oh, there's river crust? I don't think it's river crust. I think it's just some plant of some kind. Oil processing. We've already read. Pandician bull rat study. Excerpt from lab notes by Anton Sokolov. The bulk of the rodent is hardly the most interesting detail, though it is for one first remarked upon by visiting colleagues who came to study my prize from Pandicia. Upon further observation, it becomes obvious that the specimen exhibits greater cunning than its cousins native to temperate crystal. Twice in the night I have woken to find it loose in my apartments, so a new cage had to be devised. An entertaining diversion, but a waste of my precious time. The dietary tests I have conducted have also provided some surprise. The Pandician bull rat, I can say with confidence, is not a finicky eater. With equal gusto I have seen my little guest dine upon other, smaller rats, living felines, and even the corpse flesh of a plague-dead woman found in the Wrenhaven River. Further study is required. How do you like my Sokolov voice there? I gotta try to make this more interesting any way I can. Dang it, I keep jumping when I wanna. I remap jump to E key. So sometimes I jump when I wanna go forward. And take the stairs right up here. Odd that this is all exposed to the outside. I don't see any doors. So here's the greenhouse where Sokolov is. But before we do that, let's come up here and just... Oop. Take another view. So it's another kind of a little nice view of the city. Nice sunset. See how far we've come across the bridge. And the distillery district and the Golden Cat and all that should be somewhere around there. I don't think you can see anything. There's the top of the bridge where we were in the last video. So you can see these old stone pylons from a previous bridge that was probably wrecked in order to allow the passage of the whaling ships. There's Dunwall Tower. Right there, Bridge Prison. And one of these piers is I think is the pier in Dishonored 2 where the dreadful whale is anchored. It's that clock tower. If you zoom in, it's not a very high res model. You can see it's pretty basic. But from here it looks fine. And you can actually see the hound pits. So there's the tower. It's weird. It looks like the corners have been exploded out. Like there's no corners to the wall. I don't know. It's just a long distance image. But there's the hound pits. So yeah, I can see a lot of places in the city from here. Okay, let's go get Sokolov.
I now turn my hopes and energies to Formula 25, which in conjunction with a high heat therapy, which came to me most vividly in a dream last night, has great potential according to the latest celestial alignment. As for test subject 312, after the characteristic sloughing of the skin, she should be dead by mid-morning tomorrow.
Please, sir. Please let me go.
Away awake, I see. How are you feeling?
Much worse. Do I have the plague? Please, sir, I don't want to die.
Hush now, no one's going to die. You are much improved, number 312. The formula I administered to you is working exactly as it should. I cannot let you go yet, because I have not finished with my study. But tomorrow will make all the difference.
Really? You'll release me tomorrow? I'm not gonna die.
Yes. Tomorrow I will have the guards remove you from this cell. Late morning, perhaps.
But the pain. Can't you give me something for the pain?
I do have many pain remedies, yes, but alas, I cannot give you any. They could interfere with my research. You should thank me. Soon we will have a cure for this terrible disease, thanks to all my hard work and dedication.
Yes, thank you, sir.
This guy. Oh my god.
What? How did you get past all the guards? Your tattoo is quite unusual. It is reminiscent of markings I've studied on caved walls far from the city. Who sent you? Piero? That jealous fool. There's no need to be his laphound. You and I can come to an agreement. One that I'm sure will please you more than anything Piero dreamed up. Who are you? What is it you want? Money? Elixir against the plague? I don't know how you got past all the defenses, but I think I can assume if you wanted me dead, well, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Everything within my power to give you is yours. If you'll just let me go. I can see you are an intelligent man, so you understand there will be repercussions if you should harm me. I am the royal physician, head of the Academy of Natural Philosophy. Stay back! Have you no heart? Please! Before you do anything rash, I think we can come to an agreement. It doesn't matter who sent you. Whatever they are paying you, I will double it, triple it. No? Well, money is not the only thing I have in abundance. Perhaps there are other rewards you seek. I see you are a determined man. Is there nothing I can offer you? Sir? I can't say I'm surprised. I knew someone would come eventually. But you're not what I expected. There's no need for violence. We can be great friends, you and I. Will you join me and drink? Sit and talk a while. Come, we'll discuss your future. Money, women, whatever you want. There is much to learn from the stars for those fluent in their tongue. I could consult my astronomical charts. Is there no reasoning with you? Damn it. Someone help me, damn it.
Anton Sokolov. He knew me once, and did much to set me on my path. Yes, Sokolov's a foreigner. The looks and manner of a Tivian swineherd. But he is also a great genius. Not all his knowledge was gleaned from academy books. Some is gained from the maidservants he beds.
I love how there's a guard right out there.
What the aristocracy
He's yelling for help.
Portrait painted by Anton Sokolov.
The guard right out there doesn't
If only
do
they
anything.
knew how much he detests them. The city owes much to this great mind. Let him drink and find company where he can.
I don't think so.
Anton Sokolov. He knew me once,
Okay.
and did much to set me on my path.
Yeah, they really tried to retcon this guy in the next game. Some kind of like eccentric but kindly old man. But I mean, he abducts people and infects them with plague just to watch them die. So he's pretty horrible as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you, whoever you are. He kept me in a cage, like an animal. The pain is horrible right now. So I'll just hide in a corner and leave when I'm feeling better.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on that. Okay. And Let's get that last rune. That's all 5 runes. Blueprints. I think we're full of... Yeah. But he has his own elixir still, so you can also fill them up here. You can take a couple of these empty ones and fill them up. Lieutenant Niles' report. As requested, this is a sample of the black market elixir we believe to be coming from one of the abandoned distilleries. It's no doubt it's inferior to your formula, or even to Piero's remedy, but people are desperate. We have not been able to identify the additional ingredients. Perhaps you'll have better luck. One thing of note, some of the men of the Watch claim, when pressed, to have purchased and used this stuff from time to time, since it's cheaper than either of the popular brands. None of them report any illness or complications, so while it may not protect from the plague as well, it doesn't seem harmful. Lieutenant Christopher Niles, 2nd Dispensary Detail, Dunwall City, Watch. So that's the black market bootleg elixir they're getting from Slackjaw.
Sokolov here. Excellent progress today. Test subject 312 is declining rapidly. As I theorized,
Excellent progress.
Formulas 12 and 17, administered in combination, greatly accelerated the progression of the disease. Interestingly, the respiratory mucosa had erupted and raised pustules, grayish in color, which burst, causing hemorrhaging and pain. I now turn my hopes and energies to Formula 25, which, in conjunction with a high heat therapy, which came to me most vividly in a dream last night, has great potential, according to the latest celestial alignment. As for test subject 312, after the characteristic sloughing of the skin, she should be dead by mid-morning tomorrow.
Okay, now that we have his key, we can go down to his bedroom here and get that chest, that desk. 300 coin. And oh, if you want, you can use his elevator. Maybe I should show that. I don't know. I think you have to get a oil tank, but I thought it was. Oh, it might be out in the hallway. Yeah, I think it's out in the hallway. You gotta. Yep, there it is. And they saw me.
For the watch. Get him.
Jeez.
Where are you?
Help!
Got you now. Get behind him.
Damn.
That was great. Okay, let's get out of here. So the easiest way to get out from here is blink over to this ledge and take those these rods, these bars, climb down here, and there's Samuel right there. Easy peasy.
The royal physician himself. You made a neat job of it. Drop him here and we'll be off.
All right. Not too bad. 1 kill. Who was? Oh, it was Alec, because I was out of sleep darts. Yeah, all the special actions, parole thief, test subjects, safe, and save a woman from the rats. All the runes, all the bone charms, 1 shrine. Okay, and at least most of the coin, more than half. That's not too bad. All right, so this was a pretty short one. Again, thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one, hopefully. Read my book.